It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day, I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It starts with some beer, so you shouldn't have fear. Two garbage guys with facts, but they both still have tact. It's that time at last for the best damn podcast. It's Can Crusher Day!
And welcome to my favorite part of the week, again, Can Crusher Spotlight. And this week joining me is Paul Boers.
What's up? I'm back in the studio finally, huh?
New and improved studio.
Yeah, I know. This place is awesome. All the wrestling memorabilia on the wall, all the old school guys, all the new school guys. The Nathan's hot dog made it up, which is awesome. Mark, we have a pretty special spotlight this week. Normally we do wrestling, but we are two everyday average garbage men who drink beer and talk about wrestling. So today we're spotlighting beer.
I'm excited. We're going to be heading over to the Straub's Tap Room and talking to AJ, the hospitality manager. And I don't know, I want to dive into beer and anything that they do over there.
Beers, foods, their foods are real good. I hope we talk about food.
I hope we do too. We ate there before.
Yes, we have ate there before.
We do know the pretzel's the size of Paul.
It's definitely the size of a steering wheel. Well, I got some stuck in my tooth still, I think.
Probably a pretzel from the last time we ate. So, that's right around the corner. Coming up, you're going to hear Al Snow and the great sponsor from Collar and Elbow, where you get all the great hats, hoodies, tees, shirts, everything that they have. And you can type in Can Crushers, capital C on Can, capital C on Crushers, for your 10% off the entire order. And yes, it does kick back some money to us to buy beer, pay for podcasting stuff.
The goods.
The goods.
The goods that keeps us Cummins to use.
Yeah, so here comes Al Snow, and then we'll be on location with AJ, and I don't know where this... beer and us together is going to be bad news.
I know AJ personally. He's a good dude, so this could go anywhere.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
Can Crusher Nation live on location at the Straub Tap Room and Visitor Center.
This is the epicenter of beer, Paul.
In St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, this is the epicenter of beer. Absolutely. You go ahead. We got a special guest today. You going to announce him?
I thought you were. You're sitting here drinking a beer, fashionably late once again.
Always late, and I'm always fashionable. You know why I'm fashionable? Because I have my Collar and Elbow Job Squad t-shirt on.
You are a Job Squad. So tell everybody who AJ is.
AJ is the manager and, kind of
hospitality manager. Didn't you read his card the last time we were here?
You got the card. You get the important stuff.
Because you don't do anything important.
I'm here for comic relief, bud. You know better than that.
Right. So, AJ, welcome to Can Crushers. As you've already noticed, this is a shit show. We talk about wrestling and beer, but tonight it's all about beer. You guys are the first beer that we've actually showcased. And why? Because you're our hometown, more or less.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I think that we are the epicenter of beer for St. Mary's. Most of Elk County and hopefully the greater portion of the northwest viewing area of Pennsylvania.
It's always funny when we go places because even like out of state, you'll be wearing a Straub shirt or something and be like, "Oh, you're from like St. Mary's, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So they know Straub beer is known everywhere. We were just in Vegas for our honeymoon, and I was wearing my Straub shirt, and a bunch of guys come up and be like, "We've had that beer." Well, okay, cool, good job.
Kind of the OGs on the block, if you will, for craft brewing in the United States as well.
Yeah, can you get into that a little bit? I mean, because it's, if I got my numbers right, 1865?
1872.
Damn it.
So you were super close, Mark. So the location that the brewery sits on has had a brewery on it since 1865. Now, kudos to you. Ding ding, 2 points for Mark. Okay, I don't know if we're counting points here, how we tally points at the end.
It's beers, yeah.
Okay. Ding ding, Mark gets 2. So there's been a brewery on that location since 1865, due in part to an all-natural spring that fed the brewery. Now, at one point in time, there were 7 breweries in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, mostly located around pure, all-natural mountain spring water. Now, we still claim that we make our delicious Straub beer every batch with pure mountain spring water, and that's totally true. Our reservoir here in town is spring-fed, so, only the best of the best. We also sit on a continental divide here, which, for those of you that are out there that don't know what that is, guessing quite a few, that's where the water will break and go either east to the Chesapeake Bay or west to the Gulf of Mexico. So there has been a brewery on the location of Straub since 1865. Peter Straub, our founder, started brewing a beer here in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania in 1872. So that's where we get our founding date. So we're pushing about 147 years old right now.
I know we're 3 years off, but there's got to be a big party getting planned already for 150.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're gonna bring back the old school pub crawl, and we're gonna get out in all of the establishments throughout St. Mary's, and hopefully a couple throughout the Elk County or the regional area. Take a tour bus around and really do it up for the 150th anniversary of the Sesquicentennial.
Let's
Boys.
see if you remember to say that in 3 years or 3 minutes.
Remember, we got wrestling fans in here. They're not going to be able to know big words like
Sesquicentennial.
Who came up with that? John Schlim?
That might have been one of them. No, that's actually what the 150th anniversary is called.
That's definitely a John Schlim thing, though. I'm just throwing him under the bus right now.
So for those of you that don't know John Schlim's an English professor at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. He's a fifth generation family member, sits on our board of directors, and has a whole lot of input into our marketing and public relations campaigns.
And I like burying him because he was one of my professors.
That's fair.
That's fair. I'm going to get slack for this, but
Did he give you a good grade?
I earned it.
Whoa!
Nothing's given.
Right, I earned it. So the big reason why we're here is because the tap room is relatively new, and all these flavorful beers.
That's correct.
Let's talk about the tap room first and how this concept came about.
So, being a brewery of 147 years, what we needed to realize is the portion of it of staying relevant. And the key to that is being out and being in the open and having that great visitors experience. All the staff here is local, and they all, I'm sure, have a lot of great stories about their first Straub beer. If they're not old enough, not having a Straub beer yet, but somebody in their family having ties to that. So
we're from Elk County, man.
Yeah, they've probably had a couple underage.
It's definitely been snuck.
Pilfering a couple of pounder bottles out of Grandpa's fridge is not
Pilfering Pilsners. I like that.
Pilfering pounders.
Oh, there we go.
Pilfering Straub pounders. Now we're in.
Well, yeah, 3-piece.
The triple P. Is that a wrestling move?
It can be. It will be now.
So for a background, AJ is 6'2" and about 163 pounds. Not much of a wrestler, for those of you that can't see me. I was a pumpkin pusher back in the days. For all you out there that know what that is, that's a basketball player. So in reference to what we're trying to do here at the Visitor Center and Tap Room is bring tourism to the area. Not that it already wasn't there, but there's 400,000 visitors to the Elk Visitors Center every year. There's close to that at the Kinzue Bridge, the Kinzue Viaduct that blew down. We work closely with the Elk County Visitors Center and trying to bolster that economy that comes in here and really promote tourism and history that we have. So what better way to share it than opening our doors and getting people to come in and enjoy a beer and share some stories with us.
So when did the tap room officially open? Is Paul taking care of other business?
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone is blown up.
Probably his wife. We can't say anything. We're both married, so.
Yeah.
Mine's eating the humongous pretzel in the background.
The steering wheel sized pretzel that we offer here at the Straub Tap Room. So we opened officially on June 19th of 2019. Cool story about the building that we're sitting in right now. The piece that we're sitting in, those of you that can't see it, we're in a 1917 garage. The home was built by Tony and Joseph Straub, who coincidentally were our founder's sons. Our founder was Peter Straub. His sons Tony and Joseph built the large home out front, and they built this place in 1917, and we acquired the property back in September of 2018. Not that it had been out of the family for that long, but as far as the brewery owning it or anything like that, so we changed a few things, knocked down some walls, took the original garage doors out, put some new garage doors in, and if you guys come to visit, all of the wood that you'll see inside of here is actually harvested from the family's hunting camp called Straub Bear Run. It's about 4 miles outside of town. So bringing all those family ties in and really trying to make this place feel like everybody's home, not just locals.
Like you said, with the tourism and stuff, Elk County is a big area for the elk and everything else. And when the leaves change and the rut hits, this place is a booming metropolis, really, for being in the backwoods. This is a beautiful place to come in and enjoy some of that backwood. I wouldn't want to say backwoods because people think banjos and banjos.
It's not like that.
It's not like that. But some of the down home type. Down home atmosphere. And like you said, it is beautiful in here, and it is definitely worth stopping. And most of the reason why we wanted to do this is to bring people into the area, to taste the wonderful beer and just to check this place out.
Yeah, there's a good sense of down home family. I mean, you're not going to be walking in here and not more than 30 seconds in the door. Somebody, whether it be our staff or hopefully somebody is going to greet you and check in with you. It's a great meeting place for locals and tourists alike. People traveling across the region to come in and really get that home atmosphere to the region, which I think, for you guys growing up here and living here, you know what that's like to go to somebody, maybe it's somebody that you're an acquaintance with, to just be welcome with open arms, and that's what our goal is here, and to make everybody feel welcome and come back.
I brought my father in a couple weeks ago, and he's the old man, as we said off air, that wants to know where the table was made. Is that pipe actually bringing the beer right in from the brewery? What's the waitress's name? Is the coffee maker from Pennsylvania? He's got all those questions, and you guys are willing to answer all those questions for somebody like Ron Martinet.
100%.
Even when it's packed. I mean, and that's the nice thing about the down-home atmosphere. I was trying to segue into the beers. I figured we'd get into the beers.
I still have one more thing to do. We have 3 garage doors in front of us that, outside right now, as recording, it's 16 degrees.
Yeah.
And it is not cold in here whatsoever. It's comfortable, and it's nice atmosphere now. But when those garage doors are open and that patio is open, it is unbelievable. That's the first time I came when you guys had me over, and it's unbelievable. That atmosphere, there's cornhole outside, what else are you going to, you have any other parties planned?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, loads of parties planned. We even have a few parties coming up over the winter where you guys would be proud of me. All those tables that were out there, all 28 of them.
You moved by yourself.
This little guy,
the pumpkin pusher.
This pumpkin pusher carried and stacked and put away all by himself. So the patio area, the open air beer garden that we had during the summer is gonna. I have a couple of outdoor fireplaces. We'll be burning real wood fires throughout the winter during the weekends, and just because it's cold doesn't mean you can't drink outside, right?
Right.
Woods party outside.
Yeah, Woods party right in the middle of downtown St. Mary's.
You clearly need licensing for that.
No, we don't.
You don't?
No, not in St. Mary's. You can have an open air fire anytime you want in St. Mary's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ridgeway, take notes.
Yeah, Ridgeway, take notes.
You have to have a hot dog on a stick in Ridgeway.
Nope, you do not need to. You do not need to cook over that fire. It can be solely for entertainment purposes or to warm your body in the city of St. Mary's.
Entertainment purposes is what
warms my body.
Warms your body and gives you the ability to drink an ice-cold, delicious straw beer outside during the winter months.
There's the segue.
There's a segue.
So speaking of delicious ice-cold beers, Andrew, may we have another round?
Andrew shakes his head.
He's like, yeah, I'll get to you in a minute.
I have a blaster. Mark's going to have a bash, another bash.
Another bash.
Paulie, another bash?
Yes, please.
Wonderful.
And let's talk about these beers, because we got a flight the first time I was in here, and I love them all, first of all, but let's start with the winter bash, because it's winter now in Elk County.
It is. It is.
We'll get to the other ones, because they're great. I love the smash, but the bash is where it's at.
Okay. So, winter bash came about. We here at Straub have been working on a series of FMBs, which stands for flavored malt beverages. We don't want to be left in the dust here as far as any of our offerings, and we've noticed over the last couple of years these flavored malt beverages, or fruited beers if you will, are really taking off with everybody. I'm sitting here with 2 friggin' huge guys, and and they're not afraid to drink a fruited beer. Now, Pumpkin Pusher AJ is drinking a hazy IPA because I feel like I have to prove myself. But what we've noticed is with these flavored malt beverages, they speak to a lot of different demographics, okay? So, whether they be huge friggin' guys or, young ladies or older ladies or anybody that just wants a little bit of a different flavor to their beer. Even some wine drinkers are picking these things up and really crushing them. Some of the guys I know that are exclusive, large macro brew drinkers drank a whole lot of our summer splash over the summer because they really it was a different flavor. Now these guys aren't ones that would normally drink a regular Straub lager. They just wanted something a little bit different. So coming out with a whole series of 5 throughout this year. In 2020, our plan is to do 6 different FMBs and just bring more of a full-rounded flavor profile to the market. Now, of course, we always have Straub Lager.
I was gonna say,
Granddaddy Lager is still the
there was
bomb.
for the longest time. It was the big 3. It was Straub Light, and Straub Amber.
Well, growing up, it was
Straub Lager. We only produced one.
Yeah.
Straub Lager. It was a brown bottle or a greenie.
Yes.
Which one did you like?
Brownies
better?
or greenies?
Yep.
Brownies or greenies. There was nothing else.
And then in 1988, we came out with Straub Light, and it became a huge hit. And then following up on that, the beer that was the precursor to Straub Amber was Peter Straub's Special Dark, and that debuted in 2006. Now, moving forward out of that, a lot of people, maybe a lot of your listeners, are going to wonder what happened to Peter Straub's Special Dark. We couldn't produce that beer anymore. A couple reasons for that. One, couldn't get the products to produce the beer exactly like we did Peter Straub's Special Dark.
That's it.
That was one.
One and done.
The second reason for that is, outside of L County or the Tri-County area, locally here, that wasn't really a dark beer. It was delicious.
Yes.
But what was it? It was an amber lager.
Right.
So what we did is reformulated the recipe a little bit and made it a true amber lager beer, which is what realistically we were intending it to be. We still make returnable bottles. We're the last ones in this part of the country that produce returnable bottles and packaging.
Slowly becoming the last one in the world.
Close, yeah. Europe still does it a little bit. There's one tiny little brewery called Bayern in Missoula, Montana, but they don't use real returnable bottles. It's a process of washing, sterilizing, and refilling those bottles. And they have a bottle soaker like we do. It's very much smaller than the one we have, but on an economy of scale, 11% of all American lager beer is in returnable bottles.
Wow,
So it's a local favorite.
Yeah.
It's huge in Western Pennsylvania, and we're really nailing it with returnable bottles. I think in key part of it is you feel like a real man handling that big pounder bottle. The other part is people are becoming more sustainability minded. That rather than those glass bottles essentially ending up in a landfill or being recycled, and I put that in quotations.
He likes them too. Air quotes are
Air quotes are,
Air quote recycled, which the bulk of Pennsylvania in eastern Ohio doesn't do anymore. They come right back here to the factory, are washed and sterilized and reused. So,
and that's a big process. That's jobs.
It is.
Local
Yes.
jobs, and
Yes.
that's a big thing.
Yes.
You touched on it a little bit about the different types of beers so the big 3 we said. When did it become the main idea that you guys were gonna brew something different?
So essentially that question can be answered in 2 parts. Something different meaning something fruited or something
like
more
the
flavor forward.
Like the microbrew thing.
Okay, so that happened in 2011.
Yeah.
Not incredibly undue in part to that's when I came to the brewery, but we also, Vince Aceta, our brewmaster, general manager and brewmaster and vice president, came in and, throughout his travels throughout the world, also noticed a huge need to have more flavor-forward beers. Now, my background is essentially craft beer sales for the last 15 years. So what I saw coming in is that we needed that, and Vince's vision was the same. So paralleling and challenging our professional brewers. Another thing I want to point out, guys, is we have all professional brewers here. These aren't guys that have other jobs.
Yeah.
It's not us.
We're not two rinky-dink guys with like a cornfield and making mash and stuff.
No.
These guys know what they're doing. I'm not saying that them guys don't know what they're doing, because I've had some moonshine that has knocked my socks off. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But these guys
guys are professional brewers, meaning that they have accolades from a brewing academy, internationally or within the United States, and this is solely their job. We have real deal brewers here, and challenging a couple of the guys, TJ Steele, Dave Bumgratz, Guna, those guys to come in and develop recipes and push them toward utilizing their skill set. And moving forward with that, we produce some phenomenal beers. Some of them are coming back, the Autopilot Pilsner, the Stellar Night Dunkel, 1872, Vienna, a bunch of different classical German, European style, more full flavored beers. And that all started in about 2011, 2012. Expanding that portfolio forward until 2017, where we were up to 16 different beer styles. That's not, dealing with any of the fruited options that we have now. 16 specific recipes of traditional European and American style lager and ale beers. So they came a long way in a short period of time. It takes most brewers much longer to do that, decades even. But I got to give it up to our brew staff, and most recently the beer I'm drinking right now is called Hop Blaster. We stole Phil Davidson from not only Yingling but Sly Fox, and his knowledge of how we can produce beautiful, juicy, hazy IPAs. It's unbelievable. The beer that I'm drinking right now looks like pineapple juice.
It does look like pineapple juice. That's what I was going to compare it to. It looks like you have a nice big glass of pineapple juice.
Or if any of you are old enough to remember Orange Julius, it kind of looks like an Orange Julius.
Dairy Queen still sells Orange Julius, so you can say
But it's
that.
not the original that you got in the mall.
Right, yeah. So those are the words that we need to use. We don't use any words that AJ just said. We're like, this is a great beer, it tastes like a fruit, it tastes like this. We don't do that.
More on that in a minute.
Yeah, more on that in a minute. So, AJ, can we talk about the process a little bit without revealing?
Of brewing?
That was like a big question. You should have seen his face.
He was like, oh man, I don't know if I can answer all of this.
How much time do you guys have?
No, not that elongated process. I mean,
Okay.
Let's say
Yeah,
right
100%.
now we're going to stick with winter bash because that's what I'm drinking and that's what I'm going to push down everybody's throat tonight.
Okay.
How long does it take to make that up 1,000 yards away from us?
Okay, so Winter Bash, what we've done with these flavored malt beverages, and this is all the same as the Summer Splash, the Autumn Smash, the Winter Bash, Crash, Trash, whatever we decide to come up with, okay?
Yeah, you're running out of ashes, though. I'm not gonna lie.
that was. I know. But Splash was just such a big hit for us. We sold.
I'm telling you, I paid for at least a half of this building this summer with the Summer
sold
Splash.
800 barrels
I believe that.
of that beer. To put that into perspective, our next bestseller, which historically was our bestseller, was our Oktoberfest. Outsold our Oktoberfest, which is another phenomenal beer.
By double?
No.
It just outsold it.
It just outsold it. Maybe squeaked it.
Yeah.
Maybe squeaked it.
All right.
So essentially what we do with these beers is we base them on an American lager beer, okay? And then before they're finished in the cellar, we'll add all natural, shelf-stable flavorings to them. Now, the main reason why Bash is pink grapefruit, we couldn't get any of the pink grapefruit flavoring until now. Pink grapefruits don't come into season until October.
Yeah.
We also added a little bit of blood orange flavor to that, and those don't come into season until late October. So that's why that beer is only coming out now. I was out in the trade today as playing sales rep, and some people said, this would be a great summer beer. Yeah, it would be.
But it's not
But
feasible.
those ingredients aren't available at that time.
So Christmas drinks at my house is grapefruit juice and gin.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a Christmas drink at my house. So,
exactly. I've
Not to step on you, but go ahead.
I've
I'm
also
sorry.
been known to, squirt a little bit of grapefruit juice in a classic American lager. That's not how we do it, but I have a draft system at my house. I am a professional. A little shot of grapefruit juice in the bottom of the glass, and then pour a draft over it. But with the autumn smash and all of those seasonal beers that we're planning on doing, essentially what we need to do to get the alcohol in the beer part of it, we're using classic Straub American lager base, which is a very, very clean American lager beer, pale yellow lager beer that lends itself nicely to adding flavors to. So that's why we decided to, use that lager base that we've been very well versed in, obviously 147 years of making essentially the same beer, and in tweaking that to fruit. Now the other recipe hasn't changed. If you order an American lager pounder, it still tastes like beer.
How long are these? I'm going to say flavor. I'm going to be the minor of all these. How long are these flavors on tap now?
So here at the tap room, Summer Splash is done. I've got a little squirt of it left. And so we do still have one that we're playing around, and we can do this in very, very small batches. Is called Taproom Raz. It's a raspberry infused lager.
Oh, and it's fantastic.
It is banging. It's banging. The next one, the Autumn Smash, we're almost out of the apple for that. Winter Bash, it's probably going to be through late June, January, late January. And then we'll transition into something else that we can find flavoring for, moving forward into February and March. And then in April, we're planning to do Summer Splash and get that ready to get out in distribution.
You just brought over some kick-ass nachos.
So our head chef Brad Celedonia brought over. These are turkey nachos, boys.
Oh my! There's peas and
yeah. So it's essentially what it is it's your Thanksgiving dinner on nachos. Okay.
AJ, you need to come do the podcast more often, because your segues are fantastic. You segue without even us having to do anything with it.
I don't know how the hell you did it.
I cued it.
But
I cued it.
So we're out
so
of
go ahead, guys.
This is your podcast.
We're out of the beer.
And peas on it.
There's turkey and peas and a little bit of gravy and some shredded cheese. Just grab them and go.
We're out of the beer part now, and we're into the food part.
Oh, I guess we can take over the
this
food
is
part.
We'll end on the food part.
Should I grab my contemporary Brad here? He has, other than myself, bouncing some ideas back off of him. Let me see if Brad Celedonia has has a minute to
Yeah.
reach out.
Okay.
As AJ leaves, well, you need to take it's a Thanksgiving meal in your mouth on a nutshell. That's not enough. You need to just dig in a minute.
I don't want to dig in. I feel bad. There we go.
You wait. Put that in your mouth.
Dig in.
That is a Thanksgiving meal on a nutshell.
Yes, it is, and it is fantastic.
Thanksgiving on a plate.
Thanksgiving on a nacho.
Brad, welcome to the show.
This is
Mark,
Brad Celedonia.
Paul,
Hi, nice to meet you.
welcome to Can Crushers, and thank you for bringing Thanksgiving to a wrestling beer podcast. This is
Yeah.
flipping amazing.
So we're trying to tell everybody about the tap room, and a big part of it is the food. And I guess you were the brains of the operation, huh?
Sure, we have obviously a great
Yep,
team.
well, thanks for coming, Brad.
Sure.
Keep them coming. Yeah, I can't take credit for all of them. I mean, AJ definitely has a big hand in the food. He came up with the turkey apple.
AJ.
Keep going.
120
keep
pounds of
going.
AJ is a big.
He can eat.
He's not. You're
He
gonna
can
open
drink
the
better,
garage
though.
door to get him out of here.
We got a forklift that we can bring down if need be.
So
yeah.
Brad's background. Brad comes from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Came in, opened up another local restaurant. Might as well put a plug in for Keystone Corner Lunch. Some of the best burgers around. Right downtown in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania.
We know more.
Yeah, these guys know where to go. But Brad brought some insight in, and tried to realistically brighten up what the food offerings were in St. Mary's. So, Brad, what do we specialize in here?
We have taproom fare, but we try to obviously put a spin on that. There's so much just regular, offerings that we tried to bring something different. Take some chances. We don't have a commercial kitchen, so everything we cook is out. We cook everything outside 365 days a year. We have a giant Myron Mixon smoker and an exterior grill, an outside grill. So we have a lot of challenges with coming up with the menu that doesn't rely on typical jalapeno poppers and stuff like that. So we're really, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, to come up with something day in and day out that doesn't rely on typical kitchen fare. So
So the menu changes every day, or does it change every so often?
Mostly weekly. Like this piece on our menu, I just pointed out to
As
Paul.
he's pointing to a piece
Yeah,
of paper. This
and
piece.
I'm good. I'm good at talking about this.
yeah.
So the visuals on this are some of the things that are seasonal to us. We have Braunschweiger,
That's amazing. I grew up with that with my grandfather. I
Yeah.
love Braunschweiger.
and
Sold
that's
way more of
why
that
that's why most of what we have sold is like I used to eat this Braunschweiger and onions with my grandpa. A locally sourced bratwurst that comes from Path's Market.
And the Braunschweiger is local too.
Yeah,
Elk
the
County
Braunschweiger
Okay.
comes from Ridgeway.
Yeah.
sauerkraut from Keller's.
Yeah,
We try to
Kurt-
use as many
Yeah,
as
Kurt's
expected as many
Jams.
local.
And like weekly specials change all the time. Right now we got an apple walnut salad and a pumpkin soup. But what we try to do a lot of is because of the limited kitchen space and how we do it is it's kind of like a build your own sandwich. Okay, so we have not queso. Okay. So
We do have queso.
we do have queso. We do have
Our
queso.
listeners don't know what queso is, so it doesn't matter.
That's
Well, that's
That's-
true.
that's
The Lucha
French.
Libre listeners know what queso is.
that's French.
Fine French cheese.
Fragile. So basically you come in, you pick your meat, you pick your cheese, you pick your toppings, your sauce, and all the sauces are done in-house, all the pickling's done in-house, all of the salads and everything that come out, everything's done in-house. Small batch, virtually as made to order as you can possibly get.
Small batch. All right. You
Small
just said
batch.
small batch. A pretzel is the size
Okay.
of all.
Okay.
All.
Small batch and small portion are
Okay.
different.
Okay.
We're craft picklers here.
Yeah, we're craft picklers. So all the pickles, beet pickled onions, dilly beans, bread and butter pickles, dill pickles, all done in a quick pickling process. in our walk-in cooler, and they're all banging up.
Man, yeah. So many new words to this podcast.
Hold on, you got some nacho in your beard, buddy.
See that?
Not for long.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness it's a podcast and not
say
a
nacho
YouTube
for
channel.
Yeah, nacho for
Nacho
long.
for long.
Yeah.
So, some of the other things that Brad's rolled out, as weekly specials.
Yeah. We have obviously a lot of we try to use local stuff as much as possible. That's sometimes more difficult than it appears to be. But we found a nice we do some other crazy stuff with all the nachos. The dessert, we have a smoked cheesecake. So El County favorite is smoked Cooper cheese. Why can't you smoke cheesecake?
Yeah.
Smoke the
Right.
cheesecake.
Right.
It's tough to get lit, but it's good.
It was horrible. It was bad.
Once you get it lit,
It's
start rolling.
I don't know. We're heading down a different path.
yeah. This is why you're not in the kitchen much.
That's why we don't let you in the front of the house much.
He even invites you out here and then he just makes fun of you.
Yeah, they picks on me,
But
right?
it's like working with Mark, too.
Probably because I'm too skinny to be doing this.
Right? So, we talked about the food, we talked about the beer, we talked about what's coming. There's always a Christmas beer out with other ones. Is it something that Straub's is looking into?
So we're gonna do some small batch stuff here, which I got affirmation from the guys up in the brewery that we're going to do a couple of cask kegs of the 1872 and the Stellar Night Dunkel. The Stellar Night might have some black cherry in it. If we can pull that off, and it doesn't get the downfall of using black cherry flavoring versus full black cherries is it gets very tussany. It gets very cough syrupy.
Robitussin-y.
Tussin is
Right.
an off flavoring beer. We're gonna try to stay away from that and use all whole black cherries and just macerate them and throw them in a hot bag, stuff them into a cask keg, and let it go for another week or so. So as far as distribution wise, for anybody that's listening and you don't make it here, look for an evergreen edition of the Hop Blaster. So what the Hop Blaster consists of right now is very tropical fruit, very citrus forward beer. Look for it to change a little bit and get a little bit more piney, a little bit more Simcoe, a little bit more El Dorado, and then we're gonna swap out those two hops. We're gonna take a little bit of Azaka out of it and a little bit of Columbus out of it, but it should be, really nice. Not necessarily ginny or juniper-ish, but take those out and really rip forward with the, the cutting of your Tannenbaum, if you will.
All right. When are we looking for that?
That should be produced within the next 2 weeks. It'll be in package real early December. So we'll be ready to rip.
Now, speaking of packages, AJ.
Packages!
Whoa,
We have cans now.
Cans, you have if you don't want to sit here and deal with us, because we're here, you have a cooler. You can come in, buy beers to go.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Souvenir shop, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, the gift shop is alive and well. We've got new products coming in basically every month. A lot of seasonal ones, a lot of throwback ones. We're trying to bring back that people have asked for over the years. The Bavarian Beer Man, or the some of you may know him as the Elf, but his name is the Bavarian Beer Man, that carries the pounders on his shoulder in a case, or the keg on his shoulder in a case by his knees. He's back on all of our packaging and a lot of our gear. As far as the cooler and the to-go shop, everything that's on tap, with the exception of these tap room only things, that we're basically utilizing this as a test batch for our available to go, very reasonable pricing, and as fresh as you're going to get.
Are we going to get hoodies with Bavarian Man?
Yes, that is in the works. Where's Roseanne? Roseanne bailed on us.
Full-fledged hoodies, because that's what we're looking
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Mark's a hoodie guy.
I am
Yeah.
a hoodie guy.
Now, do you prefer zip down or pull over?
Pull over.
Pull over?
Yeah. Zip downs are jackets. These are hoodies.
Oh, man.
Touche.
Mark's the fashion police, too, by the way.
Touche, salesman. Touche.
So tell everybody, you guys have a website,
We do.
promote yourself now and go from there.
Oh, shameless self-promotion. I love it. I love it. So the Taproom and Visitor Center is open from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday we're open 11 a.m., 8 p.m., and Sundays noon to 5. Now we're going to change that out in the first quarter of the year, so June to March we're not going to be open on Sundays. It's the Lord's Day. I need a day off as well. And then, you can check us out at straubbeer.com. If you guys want to come and take a tour, please do. Tours are free. You get to make 2 stops at the Eternal Tap on said tour. And, we limit tours to 15 people just because of the age of our brewery and space and weight limitations. So come and visit us. It's a good time. And I'll let George Thurgood talk the rest of the way.
Yeah, this has been a great playlist, by the way. Whoever's been dabbling with music in the back has done a great
Thurgood.
job. Yeah.
So,
I guess one last question is, who's your favorite wrestler?
Jake the Snake, baby.
There it is.
There it is.
Well,
Oh,
man. My wife and I had this conversation with the advent of the new wrestling league. Yes, please. And she's like, I don't get it. Well, my wife's a little younger than I am, and I'm harkening back to the days of like Hacksaw Jim Dugan, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Hart Brothers, and all that stuff was like so super rad when I was a kid. So I'm in between. I'm kind of torn. I'm in between Jake the Snake and Hacksaw Jim Dugan, man. I can go either way. I can't say that I have an absolute favorite.
Either one is great. I mean,
Yeah.
One's all American,
Hacksaw.
one's just a snake in the grass.
Iron Sheik. I mean, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
Paul doesn't know, by the way.
Oh, that's not
Well,
true.
he's not-
I know most of these guys.
Most of them.
You guys got some obscure ones that, man, they don't even remember who they were anymore.
Not anymore.
AJ,
Too
thank
many
you.
concussions.
Thank you for coming on Can Crushers. Thank you for Nacho Thanksgiving.
Nacho Thanksgiving.
Right in front of me. The beers. This has been great. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys get to come down and pop in and talk to us.
So how about it, Mark? I still have the nacho taste in my mouth. What a crazy interview.
That is great. It's a turkey freaking dinner on nachos.
Well, I mean,
The peas, the gravy.
this is the Mexican you talking. If you could put turkey dinner on a nacho, all you'd have to do is put it in a soft shell and you'd have been in heaven.
That'd be more of a burrito then.
Burrito.
My winter bash. It's a great beer. I love it. The Raz. I mean, we can go through. We went through all of them. How much we love them. But Mrs. Can Crusher even had a couple beers tonight.
Right? I mean, and so they gotta be good.
Right. They do.
Because she's not a boozer like us.
We are boozers. This is great. When we turned off the mic there to come back to hear a little bit of, how can a teasing comes about that there's possibly in the works a Can Crusher wrestling related sandwich.
So when we talked to the head cook there, he's low-key closet wrestling fan.
Oh, he's full closet wrestling fan.
Right. I think he wanted to jab our ear off about wrestling and not food. But, I mean, it is what it is.
We're going to go back over, sit there, and invite the masses and just drink.
Right.
That's an open bar for us.
Right.
But that's the open question and answer day. You know, we're going to schedule it with them. AJ's on board. This happened off air. AJ's on board. Just set up and boom. Bring questions about wrestling beer and freaking Thanksgiving tacos.
By the time we get back, it'll probably be something different than Thanksgiving tacos.
St. Patrick's Day tacos.
Nachos. They're not even tacos.
Right, I'm just
You're
excited.
so excited.
The beer is just where it's at. I want to thank Straub's for inviting us in.
Yes, absolutely. That was awfully nice.
It was
of
awful. It was
awfully nice of them is what
Hold
I was
back.
doing. My words. Oh my God.
So, yeah, wonderful time, and you'll hear more about Straub's in the near future on Can Crusher. So, Paul?
Just because you're garbage doesn't mean you can't do great things, Mark. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Oh my God.
See you Sunday.